Everyone, thanks for being here. So we're gonna work today on hello. Thank you so much for being here. So we're gonna work today on a Manitowoc ice machine. I'll show you the model numbers. So basically, I'm gonna remove the covers and I'm gonna install my gauges, and we're gonna go through the operation together. And I will throw at you as much as information as possible. Hopefully, it's gonna help you. And also I will tell you how the component works. So this Manitowoc, basically, the harvest time is anywhere between 13 to 15 minutes. So, it gives you basically this kind of ice, right? And I will explain other things. So bear with me for a second. I'm gonna start removing the covers, and we go from there. So basically there are two screws. Removing the covers is very easy. So you have two screws here, right? And then the top cover it doesn't come out from here. There are hooks holding it, but it goes only one way, like this. When you push it this way, it's gonna come out very nice. So remember, there are two hooks. They hook in here, okay? And these side ones, they have screws. Very easy. Don't lose the screws. They come off very easy and nice. Okay? Same thing with the other side. If you can see, let me see. Okay. There are two screws here. So they come off. Okay, and then you have the control components are in the box here. I didn't tighten it, it's a hand tight to make it easy for me, so I can show you, okay? When you remove this, be careful, don't let it fall down. You might touch some live wires, be careful. When you take it out like this. Don't let it touch anything. Okay, so we're gonna go through the operation together. So basically, when this red light is blinking, that it's telling you it's an ice mode. You know, there is an ice mode where the machine is making ice, and there's a harvest mode, okay? So I removed these earlier, so usually they should be in here. These are the gauges, access valve, access port. So we have here the curtain. If this thing open, close, the curtain light. Actually, let me show you closer. 1 second. So basically, this is the control board, and then the contactor. Now here you see it's blinking, and it's telling you it's building ice. So the way this works, the compressor basically will send the refrigeration hot into the condenser. The condenser will cool it down. It will go later into a liquid status. The refrigerant will become liquid. It goes into the metering device, and then it will go into the inlet of the evaporator. There's another one here, I put it just in case. That's how it looks from inside here, basically. And as you see, the refrigerant goes in here. It's like a coil, and these guys become really, really cold, and you have water always showering it. And then when the water is sliding here, they start freezing and become thicker and thicker. Usually it's inside here, basically, as you see the water. And then they become like a quarter-inch thicker. It depends how thick you want them, because you have the ice thickness probe or ice thickness sensor. Usually you can adjust it how thick you want it. So what happened is, when that thing become really thick enough, the ice thickness probe will sense it. It will be satisfied, and then it will send a signal to the control board, hey, the ice is ready to be harvested. So what's going to happen, the control board first thing it's going to do is going to flush the water out. We don't need any more water. The pump will stop, the condenser fan will stop, and the compressor will keep running. So every time you see an ice machine, if you have no idea what it is, when you hear no fan, only compressor running, you know it's a harvest mode. And then what's going to happen is, I know it's complicated, but for ice machine guys know, and hopefully you can catch up with it. So basically this valve will open. So when the control board want to start harvesting, this is going to basically open, condenser fan will stop, water will be flushed, compressor keep running, okay, all the time. And then what's going to happen is the hot gas bypass vapor will be bypassed into the inlet of the evaporator after the metering device. So this is the metering device, okay, and when the harvest time happen, this hot gas bypass will basically overcome, or is going to be stronger than the cooling gas. It's going to come in here, and it will change the temperature of the evaporator from, let's say, 10 degrees, or 0, 7, 6, 7, 8, 10. We're going to see it on the gauges. It's going to change it. Remember, we're talking now the ice is ready and it's thick and it's stuck in here. When that bypass come in here from the compressor, remember this is very hot. Okay, if you touch it more than 5 seconds, it's gonna hurt you. So the gas is gonna come in here. It's gonna change the temperature to, I would say, between 40 and 60 or something. It doesn't have to really heat it or warm it really hard. As long as it's higher than the freezing degree, the bottom of the ice from here, this is actually cubic, but these are different. These are flakes or something. The bottom of the ice start melting, and then it's gonna slide, as you will see it coming here in a minute. So basically, that's the concept of the ice machine. It's all about timing. So basically, from the time you start, this is a power switch here, by the way, and this cover basically, excuse the mess, this cover basically was here. So if you see, it has a wash off and ice, right? So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is basically from the time you turn the system on, Manitowoc, for some reason, which is a good thing, anytime you turn it on and anytime you go to a new cycle, for some reason it keeps flushing the remaining water. So when you turn it on, the first thing going to happen, the pump will flush all the water that's existing, and it's going to get fresh water. Again, the pump will be running, always sending water from here into that evaporator. Now this is a different one, of course. And then while it's cold, the compressor is running and cooling that thing to anywhere between 20 to, I would say, 5 degrees. And then the water will be icing. So from the time you turn the switch on, I think between 12 to 13 minutes is going to be the excuse me, the ice mode, okay? Remember, ice mode is basically making ice. Harvest is basically getting rid of the ice, which is basically the ice is ready, is going to harvest, is going to be full down. So we're going to see together all this process. Remember, when you have level water. Now the water is now lower than usual because the compressor basically, the system basically first is gonna fill a certain amount of water till it hit the sensor. There is here water sensor, which is this guy here. See, it's off because the water is lower. Now, when it's filled the pan and the pump is keeps circulating, that water does not change. It's the same amount. Now, because a lot of this water is building on the slab, on this guy, so the water is becoming thicker. So the water is amount is decreasing. So it keeps decreasing. No more new water coming from the water feeder because we don't want to warm water, right? Because the water here is really cold, like under freezing, around freezing temperature. If you bring water from the city, it's gonna be like anywhere between 50 to 80, 50 to 60 degrees. It's considered warm water, so the pump does only work, but the system does not bring any water. So this is normal when the water level goes down, and this is normal when the water level is off. Now the only time the water level turn on when the cycle start, and then it tells the system, hey, this water is enough for this cycle, and that's how it goes. Okay, now remember, when this is blinking, it's ice. Now it has a different blinkings for different errors, but in the meantime, if this is not solid, see, it's solid. Every time it's solid, it's harvest. Now remember, now the condenser fan will stop. You heard this guy open, bypass. The compressor will keep running. The remaining water will be flushed already. Whatever water you have left is gonna be flushed. The pump will stop because we don't need to bring any more water. There's already ice building there. We're gonna see it together. So remember, when you hear the compressor running, no fan, you know right away it's a harvesting time. Usually it takes a minute or two or three maximum. If it takes longer, that's another scenario I'm gonna talk about. So remember, this curtain door has a magnetic switch that will send a signal to the control board that, hey, the ice fell. So we're gonna watch it together. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, I'm late. So it's gonna take maybe another 20 seconds. So as you see, after the ice fell, it's gonna immediately switch to ice mode again. Okay, so now remember, when the red light is solid, that means it's harvest. Curtain is closed, this means closed. When that curtain open, watch how it's gonna turn off and on for a second. So if you have problem, the ice machine doesn't work and this light is off, sometimes the curtain is not closed. And remember also that curtain also, it works as a bin control. So if the ice, let's say you have a bin and the ice is building, see, that's what it is. So now we go back to ice. The feeder is gonna feed a new fresh water, and the condenser fan comes on, right? This is closed, no more open. Okay, so now it's gonna fill with water, and you're gonna watch. Now the curtain has to be closed, by the way, in order to anything else to work. If it's open, it's not gonna work. And as I was saying, by the way, before I forget, see, it's gonna fill water till the the water level sensor is satisfied, and then it will stop. So we go back to blinking, which is ice. Okay, ice mode. Now remember, this also the curtain serve as a bin control, because what happened is, let's say the bin is full, and then the ice is full. Now the last slab will not gonna go through because there's ice, and as long as this thing is open, the pump is off, the compressor is off, everything is off, because you have enough ice. Okay, now let's go here one more time. I want to show you something. So remember, from the time this cycle start, it's like 13 minutes, 14 minutes. If the ice cycle takes longer, like an hour, you have a problem. Okay, remember. So let me tell you something here. If you remove the cover, and after this guy run, and it's really really hot, like if I put my hand here more than 5 seconds, it starts hurting me. It doesn't burn you, but so when that is hot, there's enough freon in the system. It's not gonna give you a perfect reading, but I'm doing this for 26 years. Just by touching the pipe, I know the freon is enough. And also same thing here. I cut this. Don't cut it. I'm scrapping this unit. So if you guys cut it, put a tape on it. Don't forget. Okay. But even this is the suction line. If it's cold and sweating, that means you have enough ice. Another indication tells you, there's enough freon. Another indication will help you if you be careful, don't touch the fan. If you put your hand here and you feel the air is relatively warmer than the air coming in, like if I put my hand here, I feel the air is cold. If I put my hand here, I feel the air is warmer. That will help you to determine that, hey, that means the pump is pumping. That tells you a lot. The pump is pumping. There is enough freon in here. Okay, so this is the thing you have to remember. Now these two switches, this one here is if the fan breaks or the coil is very very dirty, the system will stop. Okay, because you have a high pressure switch here. High pressure switch, basically it will monitor how high the pressure will go. This unit is usually between 200, maximum 200, I don't know, you guys tell me, maybe maximum 300. If the high pressure goes higher than 300, actually there's a reading here, we will see it together later. If the high pressure goes more than 300, the high pressure switch will tell the compressor, hey, it's too hot, I'm gonna stop. Now this switch here is for the condenser fan, because condenser fan, you don't want it to run if there's no enough freon. So the condenser fan only runs when the pressure switch is satisfied. I think it has to be at least 150, otherwise it's not gonna let the fan run. So basically the compressor comes first, it builds some pressure, and then when the pressure is healthy, it will tell the condenser fan go. Now remember, I believe two things control the condenser fan: the high pressure switch and also the control board. Remember, when we have the harvest, it will stop the fan because we want really hot air, really hot gas go into the evaporator to warm it up for the harvest. Okay, and this is the main freshwater feeder. This is the drain flush valve. As I told you, every cycle the ice machine will get rid of whatever water is left, which is not a lot, because remember, a lot of the water become ice, and it will flush it and then it will fill a new water. So now we are in the harvest cycle. I'm gonna make another video and I'm gonna put my gauges on, so that will tell you more. I will show you more information about it, and we go from there. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.